Guys, it's John, and I wanted to go into our plays, how we're doing this week. And I was going to go to the NBA just because we haven't. The finals are starting, obviously, and I want to cover them before they start, so we'll be going into that as well. So, a couple things to go into. I always like to cover the recap first because I always do that regardless every night. I do them on here on the Patreon, and then on certain nights, like when we have the final starting and some important nights, I'll throw it on YouTube also. So we came into today down 8 units, so not great. And I think we'll get a bounce back. Today, it really depends on how the Tigers finish. Not looking great because we're in the 7th inning and we need 3 more runs. So anything can happen, of course, but not looking great. We wound up getting the Angels last night. I had it in my video yesterday. If we didn't get it last night, we were going to play them today. So we got them last night. We didn't need them today. So anyway, today we down 2 units because the Marlins did not win, and down 4 because the Rockies did not cover, let alone win. The Rude Djokovic line looked really fishy, so I really liked taking Rude here for 4 units. Unfortunately, it was a walkover, so Rude did win via withdrawal or whatever it was. So no, we didn't get paid on that. So still down 4 units. And then we had Paolini as the upset. Only did it for 1 unit. Thought about doing 2 or 4 units, but she's come through for us before, but I had more faith in Rude. And again, that one wound up being a push. So down 4 units and then plus 2.7, down 1.3. So it could be a -5 day if we don't get the Tigers, or it'll be about a +3 day if we do get them. We would need some late inning heroics, just a couple runs late. So nothing crazy. By the time this video's out, you might even have the result of that one, but it was still the 7th inning, so we still had some time. And since it's the only one outstanding, I figured I'd go into tomorrow's games, especially because there's 2 in particular that the earlier you get them, the better. We have some time, but with the adjusted lines, I want to go into them. Now, I do want to go into tomorrow's basketball game because, as you know, I have the Celtics winning the whole thing. It's interesting they fall on 6-6, right? Maybe it's going to be a 6-game series. But I do think, again, the Celtics are going to win it. I said that from the beginning of the year. But in this particular matchup, who do I like? I actually like the Mavericks. I think it makes perfect sense. They've been, for 5 years now, at least 5 years, they've pushed how the Celtics get to the big dance and then they fail. So losing the first game at home just makes perfect sense to me. I just feel like they'll play good, but the Mavericks will be too much. And then the talk's are already going to be up the Celtics. Yep, too good. They always blow it. Typical Celtics. That just seems to be the narrative. So more money might be on the Mavs. I think for the series it is, but for this game I'm not sure. But I got the Mavericks winning game 1. I think the Celtics will take it in 6 games, maybe 7. And then here in 66%, they love those 6s. And then I got some props too. I'm going to go into. I do like Luka and Tatum to go off because they went into how Luka and Tatum are the first guys ever to meet up in the finals where they both lead their team in all major categories. Luka's assist kind of fell off in the playoffs. They might come back. But as far as points, I think we can rely on them. So I want to go into my plays for tomorrow. I got the Braves Nationals going over. That's a leg 3 for 4 units. That's going to be for our Marlins loss because they don't play tomorrow. And I'm just going to play this instead. I think it's a good play. Both teams not too good on the over, so I like that play. I got the Cubs covering the Reds. I've been fading the Reds as of late. So it's going to be a leg 3 for 4 units. It's plus 185 for the -1.5, so I like that. Mavs, I got them beating the Celtics plus 205, like I said. As you can see, I got Tatum to score 30 and get 10, and Luka to get his 32. That's plus 525. And I thought about picking Luka to get 10 rebounds, but I could see him getting 9 or something. So I'm just going to take Tatum to get the rebounds, Luka to get 32, Tatum to get 30. And I think that's good for 1 unit for plus 525. And then these next two, we're down to the last four, it looks like, on each. The fact that Alcaraz is still plus odds is a little suspicious, but I always say narratives reign supreme. So that's going to be a leg 4 for 8 units that he wins the French Open. I think after the streaks we saw with Federer in the Wimbledon, and then we saw it with Novak, obviously, and then we saw it with Alcaraz. He just got his first. We had Nadal before that in the French Open. I think they got to give a streak to somebody new. So, in my opinion, it makes perfect sense that Alcaraz wins the French Open again. I do think they're gonna push Ruud, and he did lose to Alcaraz in the French, so maybe he gets redemption. But I don't think so. I think he's like a perennial Andy Roddick, where he's gonna go to the finals and lose continuously. Alcaraz is their new golden boy, so that's 8 units I'm putting on him to win it at plus odds. And then I got Coco plus 800, so that's actually to win 8 units too. Only 1 unit on her though, because she's less likely to win. But I could see her getting it done, so because they love Coco Golf. So kind of covering some French Open as well as the NBA Finals. And yeah, that's what I like. I like Coco to win. I like Alcaraz to win. I'm putting way more on Alcaraz just because of the narrative. And then we got plus 525 if we get Tatum and Luka. Mavericks wins plus 2. Almost every one of these plays is plus odds, actually, outside of the Braves National. So a lot of units in play tomorrow. So if we don't get the Tigers today, we'll be down about 13-something units. Tomorrow is going to be important either way. If we are able to get the Tigers over, that would be great, but we'll have to see what happens. So anyway, yeah, like I said, right now down the 1.3 with the Tigers contingent, and then here's all the plays for tomorrow. So take care and happy earnings.